whoever come up with an idea for recreation, it seemed that everybody got behind them. One of the first things that we did of any major was the curling club. Well, being a logger, I didn't have a clue about curling. However, I, like a lot of other people, all the loggers got in behind the people that wanted a curling club, and we were very, very successful. We had 4 sheets of ice up there, and it was a great recreation. Everybody thoroughly enjoyed it all winter long. That was one of the projects. One of the other ones was the golf course. We made application to get the area, which is 140 acres where it is now. And Ray Wilson being the Minister of Lands at that time, and Brennan and him being quite friendly, we had no problems. Everybody pitched in with all the loggins, with their equipment and whatever help they could give. And it was more or less earmarked by, run by Gordy McKay, which became the pro, and laid out the golf course. And Lloyd Ingram was very active, and all the rest of us supplied machinery and help wherever we could. Of course, we had a annual tournament and a beef barbecue, beef on the mun barbecue, which I brought to town many years ago. I had a call one day from a friend of mine, Johnny Morrison. He used to be up here running Mackenzie's general store, and he said, "John, I want you to get 5 or 6 local businessmen that are quite interested in the economy and the community together. I'm coming up and we'll talk about making a Rotary Club." Well, he convinced me, so I did. And we all sat down and discussed the thing. The outcome was yes, we would start a Rotary Club, which we did.
A group of us, some of the same guys actually that started Logger Sports, got together and formed a ski club. So we wanted a place to ski. We went up to Alice Lake and we'd water ski up there. The odd person would come up for a bit of a, swim or sunbathe or that, whatever it was. And of course, Johnny'd take a trip up there. And a couple of incidents actually up there. He was up there and they went up for a swim with 2 or 3 people, and there was a man having problems out in the water, and him and Gordon Gibson, who was an ex-MLA in British Columbia, were there. They went, both of them, they were swimming out there. They actually saved the guy's life, got him into, and got help and got him to the hospital. And after that, he decided, maybe we should make this a little easier for getting in and out with the people and that. So he was instrumental in starting the Alice Lake Park. He got a lot of people to help, and everybody went up and they were digging and putting sand in and making beaches. And it wasn't long after that that they made a Class A park out of it. Of course, they kicked us off. It was too small a lake to have boats on, power boats.
Well, many years ago, the community was small, but there was 2 or 3 times everybody took a collection up to build a swimming pool, but nothing ever happened. In the meantime, there were quite a number of drownings. That brought to light that we definitely needed a swimming pool or something to teach the young people how to swim. I got to say, there was absolutely no shortage of help. Just as soon as the idea was started, everybody was there. The community wasn't very big, so everybody wasn't a hell of a lot of people, but everybody showed up, and the end result is we built the swimming pool that was behind the school, and a lot of people learned how to swim with that pool. The only plans for the future is that I'm going to stay put here as long as I can. I'm thinking seriously of retiring, but everybody I know that's retired have more or less, collapsed and died, eh? Practically every one of my friends are all gone. Poor old Laverne is gone. He sure was able to talk me into a lot of things.
After 7 decades of community work, building his business interests, and employing hundreds of local residents, John Drenka, or JD, as he's known by his close associates, has become a legend in his own time. So at this point, we'd like to turn the microphone over to you. Who would be the first victim? Who would like to stand up and say something about John Drenka?
But no one, I think, has made an impact on this community like John Drenka has. And I think it's because he cared. You can ask anyone in his family, and he cares. You can ask about his employees, and you'll find a loyal group of employees, many of them here tonight.
I just want to say publicly today that he and John Lowe in particular have been so supportive to me, always concerned about my personal welfare and my political success, and both patiently teaching me a lot about law.
You're a special man, John. And Colleen, I admire you. I've seen all winter how he bosses you around.
He respects what we say. He does what we tell him. He steals our recipes. He asks for our opinion all the time. So I just want to quell that right now. He loves women.
Good boss, and he didn't let us have any slack time. We were happy to be working, and I know for a fact that as soon as I could walk, he either had me out with it, peddling newspapers or greasing his trucks or something. I respect that, and that's probably going to make me a better man, because and my daughters and everybody I know now, they're either working or there's no slacking off.
You talked about that boat. I remember going to the christening of the boat, and a good friend, Schwarry, was there, and he was sort of the MC, saying a few things about it. One thing, and he said, well, one thing about it, JD put a glass bottom in the boat so we could look at the rest of the Hungarian Navy.
And John had just got his first boat, and he'd been out house on somewhere, and he caught this fish. And he was so bloody proud of his thing, because he didn't catch many fishes. John Morris was tested. Anyways, here he was, they had a picture taken with this fish, you see, and he was proud as hell. So he was showing it to these crew on this cruise ship, and they were Norwegians, and all of the officers were Norwegians. And anyway, this young guy looked at it, and he looked at the picture, and he looked at John, and then he looked at the picture again, and this is, of course, John standing there holding his fish. And finally he says, "Which one are you?"
Working for this man, I tell you one thing, he's never missed a paycheck for any of his employees, not once. And he's looked after them all better than most. Probably a lot more than a lot of you would ever know. There's some grandparents, fathers, and sons that still work for the company, or have worked for the company.
First of all, the story about walking to school 1.5 kilometers, well, I've heard the story. It wasn't 1.5 kilometers, it was 5, and it was uphill both ways.
By far, the most valuable thing he taught us was the second language. Now, while other kids growing up on Hospital Hill may have been learning Latin, Greek, or even French, the Drenka household were taught Loggerese.
And we raised $200,000 in one night for the Scottish Healthcare Foundation, and the guy who kept pushing the buttons was you, JD. Congratulations.
We have a strong club and active in many projects and fundraising. JD supported and enjoyed the men's only club, makeup of the club, for the first 25 years.
In the late 80s, the tide turned. And the progression of women joining the club slowly gained momentum, and today we're almost one-half women. JD has not accepted this so graciously. Regardless, I've been privileged to be the president of our club this year. It's given me a great opportunity to know JD better. And at this point in time, I would like to give John this Paul Harris pin. It's the 3rd level of our Rotary Foundation. And Pat made a comment about how difficult it was for JD to accept a woman as a member of the Rotary. Can you imagine how he could accept a woman as a mayor? You know that it took him over a year.
I just would like to say, John, that you are an amazing person. You truly are an amazing person. You always have that light in your eyes and that beautiful smile, whether you're delivering good news, bad news, other, that you're taking a joy and a zeal from life that we could all of us take a lesson from.
I like my great-grandpa because he made my grandpa that helps me build skateboards and cars.
I kind of a little bit lost for words. This is a big surprise to me. My secretary fell down. She doesn't have any notes for me here. Where are you? For those of you that got up and speak, I want to thank you very, very, very much. And I don't know what else I can say other than thank you all for coming, and hope you certainly enjoyed it.
Right here we have Jake, the youngest grandson of John, and there's many grandkids and great grandkids.